Tomorrow is the scheduled last day of the legislative session, but Republicans said the session won't end until property tax reform is passed. WHO 13's Teodora Mitov is live at the State House. And Teodora, there was another important hearing today.
Yeah, Samantha, that's right. A 5-member panel consisting of representatives met today to discuss the Senate's property tax plan. Now, one of the most controversial points of this plan would be an increase to the state's gas tax. And we heard a lot about that today during this subcommittee. Members of the public shared their frustrations with it. Other people shared their support of it. Here's what both sides said.
While other states are pausing their gas taxes or trying to give relief, why are we considering an increase in the fuel tax in this current economic environment, nationally and internationally?
If this were in effect now, if you approve that this year, the first time the potential to ever see an increase at the pump would be July 1st of 2027.
Now, along with increasing the state's gas tax, the Senate's plan would also cap city and county revenue growth between 2% and 5% based on inflation. Now, the House and the governor's plan both have a hard 2% cap. So today, members of the public expressed their support for this provision in the Senate's plan. But most people overwhelmingly said that the House compromise bill that was released last week was a better plan. Here's what legislators ultimately said.
I can't in good conscience ask my neighbors to pay more in rent because of the changes in the rollback. I can't ask community college students to pay more in tuition because of the changes to community colleges or pay more at the grocery store. And certainly I cannot ask my neighbors and our working class citizens to pay more at the pump at the time when gas prices are continuing to increase without control.
We continue to negotiate with the governor and the Senate. We continue to work through all of these questions and concerns. With that, I'm going to ask the committee to move this to full committee so we can continue these discussions.
So this isn't the final version of the bill. The Senate's plan, even when it was on the Senate floor, senators said that they are expecting things to change. The House compromise bill that was released last week, that's also not the final version. The House said that they're expecting it to change as well. So right now, what we do know is that just the conversation on property tax reform is ongoing. There is a public hearing tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. That's when more members of the public can come out to the Capitol and discuss what they like about the bills, what they don't like about them, all hoping that they can reach some sort of a compromise sometime soon, because we know the session is supposed to end sometime tomorrow. Samantha.
Teodora, continued clear context. Thank you for that report.